welcome everybody to the Ashland Global Peace Conference, which has been years in the making, years in the evolution, coming to this point with a focus on a culture of peace, bringing the community together, bringing many different layers of our community from the global to the national to the state, city, community, and this is a delight. Just a couple things to cover to begin with. Please silence cell phones. That would be appreciated. And also, restrooms are just down the hallway, just across from the registration table. And you'll find on your table that there are 3x5 cards. And these are there for you to write down questions that you may have. And to begin with this morning, we'll have time for question and answer with the mic, but then after the break with the panels, it will be with the cards. So please feel free to ask any questions that you have. One other thing is to please take a look at your program, and on the left-hand side, the list of values. These values were created when you first started the Ashland Culture Peace Commission. And there had been a lot of work done at the United Nations around the culture of peace and the 8 action areas, which Ambassador Chaudhry will no doubt talk about. But what we focus on is, what does that mean here in Ashland? What are the values that we want to function by? So this is the very beginning. And today, oh, by the way, is the 4th birthday, the 4th anniversary of the Ashland Culture Peace Commission. Yeah. Congratulations to all of us. And starting with these values is very important. This is the compass. This is, when we have a question, when we have choices, do they align with our values? So we want to have this conference today to everybody to say, yes, these are the values that we're going to function by today as we're together and also beyond. So please take a look at the values. It is such an amazing opportunity to be here after all the years, and I've been involved, and then Irene and Joni Cardelli, who's sitting in the table over here, who was one of the co-founders of the Pathways to Peace. I became part of Pathways to Peace in 1980, but the focus on peace building, there was a new language then. And along the way, the focus on the culture piece, that was new language. And here we are finding out, okay, what's the next step? What does this mean as a community? And it all starts with us as individuals. So this is what today is about. Today is about, we're going to hear from our many leaders, and we're all leaders in our own sphere, but we have some specific leaders who are bringing together their personal commitment to the culture of peace and how that shows up in their life and in their roles that we have. And then we also have our guests who will introduce as the individually, who have come to bring a perspective from the international level, from the national, international level, on what we're doing here. And it's really quite something in our conversations. It counts. It really counts. So to begin with, delighted to have our Mayor, John Stromberg, to provide a welcome. Mayor Stromberg.
Welcome to the Global Peace Conference of September 21st, 2019. On behalf of myself, the City Council, and the entire community, special thanks to the Culture and Peace Commission, to David and Irene, and if I may use the adjective relentless, I think it's appropriate in this context. I asked David, I said to David a few minutes ago, this has been a long time coming, and he says since 1980. And I can tell you that as long as I've known David, which is 19 years, I think, he has been working on this with single focus. That's a remarkable accomplishment, and that tells you what you can do if you really produce healthcare. Now, I would like to supply a sketch of the state of peace in Ashland as I personally experience it. I say that because I'm sure there's some of my friends in the room who will correct me if I don't give an accurate description. But for the sake of conversation, I would say that people from big cities often say they come here because of how peaceful Ashland is. The streets feel safe and locals meet your gaze, smile, and even say hello. I often declare that it's a gift to be the mayor of a town where everyone who lives here wants to be here and loves the place. There is a shared value of civility in this community. At our 4th of July parade this year, the crowd seemed especially grateful for the beautiful weather and to be relaxing into the familiar sequence of the parade, the band concert in the park with reading of the Declaration of Independence, singing of the national anthem, and presentation of the delegation from our sister city of 50 years, Guanajuato, Mexico. And where is Senora Chela? Senora Chela. Just as this conference is the result of David's work from 1980, this 50th anniversary of our sister city relationship is the unrelenting work of Senora Chela since 1969. All of this is part of what this community is about. But I would say, now my personal perception, especially since September 11, 2001, disruptive forces have disturbed our tranquility. This isn't always necessarily bad, and I think sometimes it's for the good, but always am looking for the opportunity they provide for our community to join together in response. For example, some examples, I'm thinking of, for example, the realization of unconscious prejudice in implicit bias, or the stunning reality of climate change, which has brought the possibility of hugely destructive wildfires, both in the forest and in cities, along with smoke intrusions that have harmed our community's economy. Then we have the populist challenge to government that surfaced in the 2016 election and was almost immediately mirrored in our highly liberal community of Ashland. And the unrelenting epidemic of gun violence, which would have been unthinkable even a few years ago. In this time when deep failures in our country's economic, political, and justice system are manifesting in stark relief, I want to paint a picture of a place where peace had a home, that these days can feel bewilderingly unpeaceful at any given moment. Personally, I see a good side to all this, and it is that we can become motivated to find peace, restore peace in our lives, even in unstable times, when familiar aspects of our lives can no longer be depended on to produce it more or less automatically. Establish more authentic and empathetic relationships with each other, join together in the face of danger, help each other in times of deprivation. On this path, peace is a beacon. Peace is valued for being hard won rather than just given, and we engage together seriously in learning the art of peacemaking, which is what today is about. So I say, let the conference begin.
Thank you very much, Mayor Stromberg. Irene and I received a call from Senator Merkley, and he said, I've heard about this peace flame. I want to see what it is. meet me there, please. And we did. And had a a discussion, tell them about the peace flame, what it was, and particularly impressed with the flame keepers from the middle school who keep it cared for and keep it lit. He also was very impressed when he's talked about this conference. This is when it was in the idea stages and developing. And he said, this is really important. I want to be part of this. So he was not able to be here personally, but he is able to be here via video. And Amy, where's Amy? Oh, there you are, there you are. So, Amy, who is his field representative, has been wonderful in terms of really helping him understand what's taking place here in Ashland and this development of the culture of peace. So, Senator Merkley.
Greetings. I'm Oregon Senator Jeff Merkley. Thank you all for gathering for the Ashland Culture of Peace Commission's Global Peace Conference in beautiful Ashland, Oregon. John F. Kennedy said, "Peace is a daily, a weekly, a monthly process, gradually changing opinions, slowly eroding old barriers, quietly building new structures." And I know that's the spirit that drives your work. On behalf of all Oregonians, thank you for your dedication to peace and your commitment to bringing the vision of a more harmonious society to your local and regional communities and beyond. Today, as you gather near the Peace Flame in Ashland, an international representation of hope and the right to peace and unity, let's reflect on how important it is for all to come together as a worldwide community. I recently visited the flame and was inspired by the vision it symbolizes and by the work of David Wick and Irene, who brought the peace flame to Southern Oregon, where it shines a light for the rest of us to follow. Now, more than ever, we must recommit ourselves to doing the daily, weekly, monthly work it takes to break down barriers and foster peace. I'm heartened by your work, and the world certainly needs it. We see division and conflict wherever we look, with a massive toll in human lives and treasure. Please know that I will continue to strive to be a strong partner in advocating for peace through my work in the Senate. Keep up the great work, and I hope you have a wonderful conference.
The peace flame, Irene Kai.
Good morning. It is beyond my wildest dream to stand in front of you today in the presence of Ambassador Chaudhry and the international, national, state, city, and community leaders. I'm actually very overwhelmed. I am an immigrant. I landed in New York City, Chinatown, from Hong Kong when I was 15. I didn't know how to speak English. All I knew was to survive. But when I was 19, by chance, I was given a benefit concert ticket to the Madison Square Garden. I didn't know what it was all about, but I went. And then, guess who come on the stage? John Lennon and Yoko Ono. And he sang Imagine. It changed my life. And 4 years ago, I went to visit Wales. And also by chance, I came across the original World Peace Flame Monument. Deep in the Snowdonia Mountains, when my eyes make contact with the flame, the instant recognition of the power of healing and unity burned through me. It ignited the sacred flame in my heart that inspired me to bring the world peace flame to Ashland, a beacon of unity. 7 sacred flames flown from 5 continents live to Wales, united and became the world peace flame. The Asian flame was from the eternal flame at Gandhi's memorial. The only other world peace flame in the United States is in the Civil Rights Museum in Memphis, Tennessee. The World Peace Flame in Ashland was installed last year at the Thalden Pavilion in the Sustainability Center on Southern Oregon University campus, across the street from the Ashland Middle School. The middle school children volunteered to refill the oil lamp with recycled biomass oil every Friday, rain or shine. They are the flame keepers, and Finn is right here, a flame keeper right here. When the flame keepers go into high school, they will pass on their duty to the following class. The flame keepers are perpetual. The world peace flame is eternal. Imagine a world we want to live in. The magic is act on the impulse when we are inspired. We can change the world together. So just go do it.